It's good health. I'm just waiting to make sure that it's live. This is a hole. That's a hole in my pants. There we go. I think we're live. Yep. Okay. So I think that's, well, let me get completely off there. Okay. Hello again. I am Rebekah from Teshuvah Ministries, and I would like to continue reading about Yahshua and where he was during the fall feasts. So again, I am doing this partly to test equipment and partly because if I need to read the scriptures, and thought maybe you'd like to follow along with me. Again, I am using the chronological gospels from Michael Rood and his team. It's called the Chronological Gospels, the Acceptable Year of the Lord, the Life and 70-Week Ministry of the Messiah, not the 3.5-year ministry. Notice, 3.5 years is a lie. It's very important to understand that he was the lamb, and that, oh man, there's so much here to that. You should get this book and read about that aspect of Yahshua's ministry and his life so that you can get the truth about that. All right. So yes, definitely get this book. I wanted to mention that in case you don't know or haven't heard me talk about this before, I love how it lays out his life chronologically, so it kind of feels more like a story instead of having 4 gospels kind of choppy. You don't know kind of where they intersect and that sort of thing. The team of people that put this together did all that work for you. So, all right. So I always say that, don't I? All right. So okay. So man, see. Let's pick up where we left off. Okay, so now we are going to look at where Yahshua is during Sukkot. So before we looked at where he was between Yom Kippur and Sukkot. Now we are actually hitting Sukkot with, if you have this book, I'm on page 157. All right. See, I say all right too. All right, so, but, we all have those words that take us to the next thought, huh? All right. I do it again. Yeshua's 30th year begins. He builds his sukkah in the environs of Jerusalem. It's a high Shabbat, the 15th day of the 7th month in the year 4027 from creation. Sunday, October 5th, 27 CE. So there you have, it's the first day of Sukkot. It's actually his birthday because he was born on the high Shabbat, the first high Shabbat of Sukkot. There's a full moon out because it's the 15th day of the month, the 7th month, which is the month where all the fall feasts fall in. And it is the first day of the week, Sunday. All right. Event 128, Yahshua teaches in the temple during the Feast of Tabernacles. So we see the Feast of Tabernacles is the 15th to the 22nd day of the month. And so we start here in John 7:11 through 36. Yeah, I'm excited to see where he is during the fall feast, or during the Sukkot. It's been a little bit since I've read this part. So this will be good. All right, starting in John 7:11, then the religious leaders searched for him at the feast, inquiring, "Where is he?" And there was so much murmuring among the people concerning him. Some said, "He is a righteous man," but others said, "Nay, he deceives the people." However, no man openly declared their loyalty to him for fear of the religious leaders. I just want to camp out on that for just a second. I mean, check that out. Wow. They're searching for him. They're like, "Where is he?" And there was murmuring among the people. Some said he was a good man. Some said he was a bad man. But no one declared their loyalty to him for fear of the religious leaders. Now, oh, yes. So as I said before, earlier today, religious leaders, just because they've been to seminary school and they have some sort of degree, supposedly, and they have a congregation of people that sit in the pews and they stand up on a platform and speak down to the people, that just somehow gives them their own authority. And there's a lot of people that fear that sort of authority, in the sense of they don't want to come at odds with these people who have that kind of power. And the religious leaders are famous for this. There's a lot of evil that's been done in the name of it from religious leaders' hands, has there not? I mean, they ended up murdering Yahshua, as they have a lot of people, the prophets and etc. But I just find that pretty wild. No man openly declared their loyalty to him for fear of the religious leaders. So don't be fearful of the religious leaders, people. Don't be more afraid of YHVH Elohim, the one who can save your life or not save it. Be more afraid of, as Yahshua says, fear YHVH, don't fear man. So this is a really important thing to eat on right here, because this is what we're doing. We're eating of Yahshua as we read, right? Eat. And we're looking at his life, what happened to him, how he interacted with people, what he said. And that's all part of eating. You're ingesting, you're taking him in, right? And you're taking in the situation. So don't become like one of these who didn't proclaim his name and say who he was. So anyway, maybe it wasn't time at that time. But anyway, let's continue on. About the middle of the feast, Yahshua went up to the temple and taught. The religious leaders marveled, saying, "How does this man understand the writings, having never learned in our yeshiva," or our schools? Yahshua answered them, "My message is not mine, but his that sent me." Wow. "If any man does his will, he shall know whether the message is of YHVH or from myself. He that speaks about himself seeks his own glory, but he that seeks the glory of the one that sent him, that is the true one, and there is no unrighteousness in him. Did not Moses give you the Torah? None of you keep the Torah. Why are you trying to kill me?" They answered, "You are possessed by a demon. Who is trying to kill you?" Oh, there's so much here. It's super cool. Look at this. How does this man understand the writings? Never learned in our yeshiva. So Yahshua didn't go to their schools. Interesting. He learned at his mother's knee. He learned from his father in heaven. Wow. Yeah, I think there's a lot. I've noticed, I think I had a conversation with somebody about this the other day. It's like, yeah, I think it was with Tracy, that, we're really, people in general, are very, very quick to listen to somebody, surrender, and they're really, really quick to listen to and surrender to somebody who's standing up on a platform and speaking down to them, kind of thing, who has somehow been elevated above them. and somebody who has had degrees and gone to this school and that school and sat in this class and that class and gotten, but then you have these people who are learning Papa's ways, the Torah, who are prophesying, who are having visions and dreams, just like the scripture says in the end days, and these are people that are like out of the backwoods. They're people that, haven't had the degrees. They don't have the degrees behind them. Behind their name. They don't have like all the educational nonsense in seminary school. But if you're like that, then you're in good company, because if you're learning from Yahshua and from the Ruach and Hakodesh and from YHVH Elohim, that is, if you are speaking your own words, then that's not good. But if he's been teaching you and you don't have degrees and and you speak anyway, speak the truth, and you'll be in good company, because Yahshua did that, right? He didn't have a ton of degrees and whatnot like these religious leaders did, and yet he was way smarter, way more intelligent, way more knowledgeable than them, and he had the truth. He was the truth. He was the life. He was the truth. So anyway, that's how I feel. I feel like I've come out of the backwoods, and I feel like the Ruach has taught me. I feel like YHVH Papa has taught me, and I've learned at the feet of Yahshua, and I feel like getting respect is very, very difficult, because I don't have the seminary degrees. So I can't go teach a Bible class in a Christian school. They won't let me, because I haven't been to their yeshivas. And that's so frustrating, because I know that these kids need the truth, and I want so bad to teach them. I would love to be able to teach a Bible class in a college or high school, college, whatever place, to be able to get these kids, but there's no way, because I haven't learned at their yeshivas. All right. It's interesting too, because this is actually the statement in John 7:16 is Yeshua's declaration to the sages that he is the prophet that Moses spoke of, as detailed in Deuteronomy 18:15-19. That's cool too. So this is his. My message is not mine, but his that sent me. That's super important to remember, because a lot of times in Christianity, the idea is that Jesus had his own gospel that was almost kind of separate and apart from the God of the Old Testament. So it was a new commandment instead of the same commandment, when in reality, that whole thing when he says, a new commandment I give unto you, blah, 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 that you love one another as I have loved you, that is actually, if you look into the Hebrew and understand that correctly, it's new in quality. It was a new in quality love that he was going to give and impart to his Melchizedek priest, because he is the priesthood changed. So it was going to be a new in quality love, because it would be from the heart, a heart that was changed, a heart that had the Ruach HaKodesh living in it, was going to just, blow open the floodgates of being able to love like he loved. And so that's what he was talking about. Not that he came to give a new, as in brand new, something never seen before, but a new in quality type of love that had never been seen before, at least corporately. So I love that. My message is not mine, but his that sent me. So he didn't say, this is my doctrine. He's like, no, I want you to look through me to the Father. Look through me to the Father. That he was trying to point us to the Father. All right, let's go on. John 7:21. Yeshua replied, I have done one work, and you all marvel. Moses gave you circumcision, but because it is of Moses, not because it is of Moses, but of the fathers. And on the Sabbath day you circumcise a man. If a man receives circumcision on the Sabbath day, so that the instructions from Moses would not be broken, why are you angry at me, because I have made a man every bit whole on the Sabbath day? Judge not according to the outward obvious appearance, but judge righteous judgment. This is cool, because he's like, if you remember right, he was born on the first high Shabbat of Sukkot. He was circumcised on the last high Shabbat, on Shemini Atzeret, which is a high Shabbat. He was actually circumcised at 8 days old. on that last high Shabbat. But he is saying, it's just crazy. He's saying, you're going to follow the letter and not understand the heart of it. So here's an interesting commentary on John 7:2. It says the one work, because he said, you remember, he says, I have done one work, and you marvel. The one work to which Yeshua is referring is the healing of the lame man at the Feast of Shavuot that set the religious leaders in motion to kill Yeshua for breaking their takanot, John 5:18, and commanding the healed man to do the same by deliberately breaking their law of Eruv. Circumcision predates Moses and was passed down from Abraham through our spiritual fathers as a token of the land covenant. Gentiles are not part of the land covenant, but they can become fellow heirs by an act of their free will and submitting to the bloodletting that is required by the inheritor. So that was extra there, but that is... I just love Yeshua. I just think he's so cool because he's so uninhibited with... He's wise. Absolutely wise. And he knows when and where to say something. But he's uninhibited too, in the sense of he just knows exactly how to nail him. Man, his words are like gold. They're so, I wish I could speak like him. I wish I knew how to do that. And so much of the time, at least in these accounts, which, isn't the total account of his life. This is a little bit of his life. Oh, I can't wait to see the video recordings and in heaven of seeing, the rest of his life. Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah. All right, let's go on John 7:25. I think I was going somewhere else with that, but John 7:25. Then some of them from Jerusalem said, "Is this not the one that they are trying to kill? Yet he is in their face, but they say nothing to him. Do the members of the Sanhedrin think that he truly is the Messiah?" Others said, "We know where this man comes from, but when the Messiah comes, no man will know where he comes from." I thought that I thought that they were clear. I mean, in the Tanakh, it tells where he's going to come from. So either I'm not understanding this right, or they don't understand their Torah, their Tanakh. Then Yeshua cried out in the temple as he taught, "You both know me, and you know from whence I came. I did not send myself, but the truth is, you do not know the one who sent me. I know him, for I came from him, and he has sent me." Whew. Wow. Then they sought to take him, but no man laid his hands on him because his time had not come. So it wasn't, they went after him at that moment, but Papa made it so that no one would catch him because it wasn't time yet. Oh, remember, this is during Sukkot. This is the 15th day of Sukkot, the first day. So he's wow. Or is this the second day? I think it's the first day. Anyways, during that time. He is in their face. I thought that was interesting. He is in their face. All right, here is a little bit of a note on the John 7:28 that says, when he says, "You both know me, and you know from whence I came. I did not send myself, but the truth is, you do not know the one who sent me." Okay, Yeshua is making a direct reference to the water libation ceremony that took place during the Feast of Sukkot. The priest would parade down to the pool of Shalom, or the sent one, and bring up water into the Temple Mount for the evening ceremony. At the end of the week, Yeshua will proclaim to be the fulfillment of this holy rehearsal put in place by the prophet King David. Yeshua will prophesy that he will be the source of the outpouring of the Ruach, of which Joel prophesies. Yeshua also interprets the prophetic significance of the fall feast of the Lord and cryptically states that the latter rain outpouring will transpire on the last great day. And that's coming up. Remember, we're in the middle of Sukkot. Last great day is at the very end of Sukkot. He, the sent one, will fill his obedient followers with that living water after he goes to where they cannot follow. Woo! Love it. Absolutely love it. It's making a direct reference. Okay. Event 129, the trial of the adulterous woman. Wow, this is during, I forgot about this. This is actually during Sukkot, the trial of the adulterous woman. 20th day of the 7th month in the year 4027 from creation, Friday, October 10. So we are 5 days into Sukkot. Remember, Sukkot is a 7-day feast, and then the 8th day is Shemini Atzeret. All right, a little bit of text right before says, several ancient texts, little commentary right before the scripture says, several ancient texts insert the record of the adulterous woman immediately after John 7:36. The internal evidence also just suggests that this incident occurred during the Feast of Tabernacles, both before the weekly Shabbat, which was the 7th day of the feast that year, and the last great day. Because of the repeated attempts to arrest him, he would have left Jerusalem immediately after the feast and would not have stayed around for further confrontations with the Pharisees. So the team here that made this book is putting the adulterous woman, that incident, that story, into during Sukkot. All right, John 8:1. So 7 days, Friday. I think that's this is 5 or 6 days into, this might be 6 days into the feast. Okay, John 8:1 says, Yahshua went out to a sukkah on the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he returned to the temple. All the people came to him, and he sat down and taught them. The sages and Prushim brought to him a woman taken in adultery. When they had set her in their midst, they said to him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act itself. Now Moses in the Torah commanded us that she should be stoned, but what do you say? This they said to tempt him, that they might have grounds to accuse him. Gosh, these religious leaders they rot. They're awful. But Yahshua stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground. This is unbelievable. I mean, he had ability to know what to do in that moment. He constantly stuns me. He stooped down with his finger and wrote in the ground. When they continued asking him, he stood up and said to them, He that is without sin among you, let him be the first to cast a stone at her. He stooped down again and wrote on the ground. Those who heard his words, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning with the eldest, ending at the last. Yahshua was left alone with the woman standing in the midst. When Yahshua stood up and saw no one but the woman, he said to her, Woman, where are your accusers? Has no man condemned you? She said, No man, Master. And Yahshua said to her, Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. Okay, a couple things here. We're going to read the commentary here in the book that talks about the illegal setup here. But then I want to just highlight the go and sin no more thing. You know, I'm reading, but I'm also going to give some commentary. The go and sin no more. Obviously, this story is used to promote sloppy grace. All right? And that is a super scary place to be because there's no such thing as sloppy grace. What he's saying here is he's not going to condemn, he's not going to judge her now. He's going to say, go, and he gives her a command, sin no more. So it's a go and sin no more. So we have to know what sin is and then don't do it anymore. Okay, so there's an action that she had to take on her part. So he's not preaching sloppy grace, okay? So let's really look at this in its bigger story, bigger context, understanding what he's about. And he's not about saying, no, just go keep sinning, and it'll be fine, it'll be okay. No, he said, go and sin no more. Okay. John 8:4 commentary says, this is an illegal setup. The Torah stipulates that both parties are culpable. I think that's how you say it. Culpable, culpable. In an adulterous situation, not just the woman. Leviticus 20:10 tells us that. Yeshua's words could be read, "He who is without this sin, cast the first stone." It is very likely that the woman was found with one of them in the usual place they reserved for such activities, and that is why the man was not brought into the picture. Yeshua could have been writing the names of the offending parties among them or other incriminating information in the dirt, causing her accusers to quickly vanish. Man, he's so awesome. But this happened during Sukkot. Go and sin no more. Go and sin no more. It's fascinating looking at what he teaches on or what happens to him during the feast. I think it's fascinating. All right, event 130. We are still during. Let's see. This is actually that's done. So actually we're all done. That was the events that are recorded during Sukkot. The next event is going to be on the last great day, and I will leave that to another reading, another time. So let's see, what did he teach on during Sukkot? Let's go back and let's look real quick. So I can't even remember where I started. 13's right here. All right, he talked about let's see, we have an event about no one who was loyal to him declared their loyalty because of fear of the religious leaders. He's talking about that his message is not his own, that his message is from YHVH Elohim. He doesn't seek his own glory, but the one that sent him. That there's no unrighteousness in him. Talks about healing the whole person and not judging on the outward appearance, but judge righteously. Hey, I'll be right back. Yeah, someday I'm gonna get... That's a hole, by the way. Hey, look, it went all... all light now again. Okay. Someday when I get enough support, I'm gonna get a place that the lights don't go out every 50 minutes. Yeah. So, man, I'd like to know why that is. So, hold on. Let's see. Oh well, I will finish this out here. But we were looking at what he spoke on during Sukkot. So that was he basically says he's the prophet that Moses spoke of, that we are to shema and obey. That was during Sukkot. He says that. He talks about that he didn't send himself, and that the religious leaders do not know the one who sent him. He was gonna be killed. I mean, they came after him to kill him. Wow. Maybe I just passed over this really fast, but John 7:31 says, "But many of the people believed on him and said, 'When Messiah comes, will he do more miracles than these which this man has done?'" Wow. They go to arrest him during Sukkot, so we see him in that position. He talks about that he will go to the Father who sent him, and that they will not be able to go where he goes. They will seek him and not find him. Did I not read this? I thought I did. And then in verse 733, when Yahshua said, I will be with you a little while longer, and then I will go to him that sent me. You will seek me and shall not find me. But where I go, you cannot come. When then the religious leaders spoke among themselves, where will he go that we will not find him? Will he go to the dispersed among the Gentiles? I didn't read this. Will he go to the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? What kind of talk is this? You shall seek me and not find me. And where am I that you cannot come? Yeah, I think I skipped that. Oh yeah, I remember. I was talking about they sought to take him, but no man laid hands on him because his time had not come. And then I stopped and I gave a commentary, and then I didn't go back to finish that. John 7:30 through 35. I didn't finish, but I just read it right now. So yeah. So he's talking about him that sent him. He says it like several times. The messages from Yehovah, that Yehovah had sent him. Yehovah had sent him, that the Father sent him. He says that several times. And then the trial of the adulterous woman. He doesn't condemn her. Go and sin no more. Go and sin no more. So there's a lot there. He's talking about during Sukkot. That is really, really interesting. All right. Well, next time we'll do another reading, and we will finish the fall feast and see where he was on the 22nd day of the 7th month. Yeah. And then we'll be done with where he was during the fall feast. All right. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'm going to go and maybe go paddleboarding because it's just gorgeous here. So you have a fabulous day. Thanks for listening to me read to you. I just love reading Yahshua and eating of him. So shalom. Bye-bye.